It's Friday, so it's time for our Agile Not So Agile episode of the Daily Stand Up Podcast. And I saw an article that kind of concerned me. It was titled, Just Focus on Yourself. Nobody actually cares about what you do. And I was set aside by this. So I'm hoping that we come to the right conclusion here, but I'm going to take a minute just to go through and see what this author was trying to pull together. I always thought that everybody was watching. I went to a shop and I ordered a drink, and I went to walk my way to my seat with a friend, and I'm overreacting because everyone's watching. I feel like I'm doing something wrong, or maybe I have something on my face. Most of the time at this particular cafe we visit is spent almost focusing on my sitting position and how people see me, etc. But what are these things that I'm actually doing wrong? The first thing that you have to remember in your mind is that you're putting yourself in a position where you feel like something's wrong, right? So when you say there's something wrong with me, think about what happens when you go to the gym, especially if you're a beginner, right? So you go to the gym and you do some exercises, and the exercises you do are with bad form. I feel like I made a mistake in my workout, and I'm worried that people might think I look stupid, or maybe they're recording me while I'm doing the exercises. I always thought that everybody was judging me and looking. Just like at the cafe, I thought I was doing something wrong. I might go to the wrong toilet. I'm afraid someone judging me is based on how I look or how I behave or what am I doing wrong. And this might feel like a spotlight effect. But the other time that I can think of is when somebody's working on something and, you know, you want to improve by going to the gym or writing every day. But sometimes even your family or friends are going to judge you for doing those things. And they might judge you based on how you work out or how much time you spend working out or what you're writing every day in your journal. This all ends up being overthinking about what I do each day. So whenever I do something and I tend to post it on social media, I feel like people care about it. I sometimes go to a mini market or, a grocery, and I buy things, and the quickie mart, right? And I thought that people would care about it if my friends met me there. So anytime I go on holiday or I'm going to a special occasion, I post it. I thought the people would care about those things. And then I realized quickly that when it comes to those worldly things, nobody really cares. Nobody even wants to care. People have their own problems, right? They have their own lives, they have their own goals, and they want to focus on what they're doing in that moment. They don't care about what I do or what I think in the end. And even if they do care, let's just say hypothetically they do care. They care for a grand total of 5 minutes or less. After that, they go back to doing what they do. They go back to their lives. They go back to their groove. They're focusing on their problems, their family, their love. They might feel a little bit angry or sad if they have all those types of problems. Do you really think they have time to think about what we're going through and what's happening in our lives? When we make mistakes on our own, does anyone really care for more than 30 minutes or an hour? The first reality that we have to let sink in is that people really don't care. The same way when I saw someone fall down when riding a motorcycle. It wasn't a big accident. They just fell down from their own bike. And there are people that are helping them already too. But I just think to myself, do I sit there and focus on him falling down, like why he fell down or how he fell down? Or do I think about it 24 hours later exactly? No, right? I started thinking about my own problems after that. I focused on my gym workout from the morning. I focus on what I'm going to write today and how I'm going to propose this solution. I focus on myself, just me, not other people, just my thoughts, my ideas. And when you sit here and you think to yourself, oh, people are watching us, people care, this is really going to make a difference. I don't want to sound narcissistic, but it's normal to feel like that. Feeling that people might be judging you or watching you it's a normal feeling, right? And I think the key takeaway that I want to give, if you take only one thing away from this podcast episode, let it be these 3 points. Number 1, how people see us should not control us. How people see us should not control us. Number 2, how people judge us should not control us. How people judge us should not control us. And then number 3, how people perceive us should not control us. And I think that if you focus on those things, you're going to be better off in the long run. You're going to be better off in the short term. It's not something where you have to just accept, what other people say, feel, think, etc., because nobody pays them to think about how they should feel or what they should do, right? They choose to feel a certain way based on the actions that they take themselves and based on the actions that you take that impact them. But nobody can make you feel a certain way. You have to feel that way authentically yourself in order for you to make that connection. And I think that if you work on yourself and try hard to be better, whether it's waking up early or sleeping enough or eating the right foods, you need to look for those small atomic habits, the big improvements that you can make each and every day to help you just take it up a notch. You don't have to take it up all the way to the top. You have to start with the realization is that most of these people are the same as you. They're the same as me. And they'll learn from their mistakes, but they're going to make mistakes. And I think that as long as you acknowledge, hey, mistakes are possible, you're going to become better because you're going to go through a period of self-evaluation. And that's going to be inspection and adaptation. And you're going to be able to focus on yourself and improve yourself and almost have a little bit of a tunnel vision where you know exactly what needs to be improved and you know how you're going to go about looking at it. But I think that if you're really struggling with anything, whether it's losing weight or becoming a consistent journaler or reading every day, right, from a favorite book or scriptures, you will learn that the atomic habits method of doing things is probably the best. Don't try to change everything and crank it all the way up to 11 all at once. Make small incremental changes that are going to make a long change difference over time. And if you can do those things, you're just going to see the rest of everything else you do explode. That's going to do it. I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did enjoy this episode, or if you have a topic you want us to talk about, learn more at AgileDad.com. I want to hear from you. And as always, we encourage you to stay healthy, stay well, and stay agile, my friends. Until next Monday, do take care. Bye now.